Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my review for Audible and listening to audiobooks for musicians. We're going to weigh out the benefits, we're going to weigh out the pros, why I use Audible, and why maybe you should too. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. I want to make a couple things clear. This is not sponsored at all by Audible. This is just me doing a review for you guys, especially if you're thinking about it, and especially if you're a musician or an artist that spends a lot of time traveling or anything like that. So let's just let's do this. Okay, so I have some notes here that I'll probably look at every once in a while, but the main reason why I want to do this is because only a handful of people I know really kind of take advantage of audiobooks and what they can offer. And the friends that I do have that end up using the service Audible or listen to audiobooks, whether it's through the iTunes store or however they get it, tend to really, really like it and refer it to other people. So what is an audiobook? What is Audible? So Audible is a company that puts out audiobooks. I believe they have their own branch of voice actors as well as they take on third-party books. And they have an app and a website. Got really popular years ago. It's been around for a while. And that's where you go to purchase high-quality audiobooks. I think there's a few more sites, but the prominent one is Audible. Audible is now run through Amazon. So I think to make any purchases or to even log in, I think you're using your Amazon ID. So that's what Audible is. Audible is the company, and you're listening to audiobooks. Okay? Why would you want to do this? Okay, so background story. I'm a guitarist in the Los Angeles area. I spent a lot of time on the road, spent a lot of time gigging. I spent a lot of time waiting around at shoots or... travel time is the big one for me, but, it applies to all forms of where you're kind of in this waiting space or your attention is, you need to be doing something, but you can listen. Could be chores, could be whatever. But the big one I'm going to hop on here is travel time, driving. LA is not renowned. LA is infamous for the traffic. And I live right by Los Angeles. And dealing with big freeways like the 5 or the 605 or the 710. These are big fucking freeways, and they're a big fucking pain in the ass. And when you spend day after day, week after week, year after year on the freeway, there's only so much 88.1, or there's only so much Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's only so much, there's only so much you can do to entertain yourself on the freeway and having to deal with all these asshole drivers or whatever. About a year ago, in early 2017, I found out, I had known about Audible, but I had found out that you get a deal through signing up with Amazon, that it gives you 2 free credits. And I think I didn't pay for the first month, or there was some crazy deal, and I took advantage of it. I signed up. I got 2 books. 2 credits essentially means you can get books for any price on their website. It doesn't matter if they're $75. It doesn't matter if they're $5. You get 2 free ones on the house, which also I think it's great marketing and worth it just for the deal itself. So I got my 2 books, and I noticed I finished the first one incredibly quick. It was Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and a lot of it went right over my head, but I noticed I finished it quickly because I was spending that whole week driving. I killed that book so quick. Then I got my second book, and I noticed that one went quickly too. And I saw the trend in my lifestyle where it's like, I just finished 2 books in less than 3 weeks. Whoa. And I haven't had a lot of time to just sit there and open up a book and flip it page by page. So I think that's going to be benefit number 1. Especially for you guys driving around all the time, driving from gig to gig. Yes, I think having an audiobook is a great way not only to take in information, but to kill the books that you've been wanting to, I keep saying kill, but to read the books that you've been wanting to read for a while, or books maybe you should read, because the Audible Library, and this is kind of now a perfect segue into reason number 2, the Audible Library is absolutely huge. So, I mean, I'm listening to books that I've always wanted to read, like Game of Thrones, but then also being very productive. You can get audiobooks of textbooks. I took an audiobook on I think it was like an English class that I took through Audible. It was crazy. And then, of course, music business, music law, music marketing, all of these books. I mean, the only one they didn't see that I think they should have is that book by Donald Passman, like Getting to Know the Music Business, or Everything You Need to Know About the whatever the name of that book is. I forget, but the famous one by Donald Passman. I don't see that one on the Audible website, and I feel like a lot of people, that's their go-to one. But they have everything else. One I would recommend right away is Zen Guitar, and another one would be the book by Ari Hurstan, like How to Make It in the New Music Business. That one's absolutely killer. So, just to review, 1 was traffic or any form of travel time where you can listen to an audiobook. Yes, totally worth it. 2, Audible itself has a giant library and huge selection. Anything from, I mean, you guys have to check it out. It's massive. It's basically a Barnes & Noble. You could listen to new content for years on it, and they're always coming out with new stuff. Another one is a pro and a con, okay? The upside of having the giant library and getting those credits and, the whole thing is Audible can be expensive. It is a membership. It's a membership, but it's a subscription-based model of business. So you're paying monthly. They might have a year payment that's probably that has a good discount. But, I mean, I did the month per month, which is $14 bucks, which is like having Netflix all over again. So these subscription-based businesses that we all have, I mean, mine goes crazy. I mean, I have like the Amazon Prime, the HBO Go, the Netflix, the Hulu. I mean, they start to rack up quickly, and to add another $15 onto it just for audiobooks, I can see where some people would say, I don't need that. And I think Audible recognized that fact too, to bring up point number 3, which is you don't need to always be subscribed to listen to your audiobooks. You can cancel at any time, and they let you keep the books that are in your library. They also have different tiers of membership. You don't need to have the gold level of membership. Sometimes if money is tight that month, or if I know that there's going to be some months coming up where people are traveling, other people do tours or whatever, and my gigs won't be happening so much, I think it's called Inactive Light Membership, which is $10 a year, and I think it only gives you access to the deals that happen like every 24 hours. Like, oh, this goes on sale or this goes on sale. I think that's pretty much all you get with it, and you get to keep whatever's in your library. And if you had any extra credits laying around, you get to keep those too and use those. I think it's great that Audible offers different tiers of membership for different tiers of consumers. It's great, and they're really not trying to scam you. They want you to continue to listen, and it's a business, obviously. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're books. You should be able to buy the book, audiobook, and read it, listen to it whenever you want, indefinitely for the future. Reason number 4, I think if you're an artist too and you want to listen to it, is a lot of musicians I know listen to audiobooks all day, and how they got into it was the podcast whole, like the culture that's kind of happening in the past couple of years, where it's a lot of people are getting their news from podcasts. A lot of people are just listening to just a lot of podcasts all the time, and even trying to podcast themselves. I think they're great gateway drugs. into the audiobook realm, right? Because like let's pick a really popular podcast that has long duration times, like Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, where they're like 4 hours long sometimes, or the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, where it's like 2.5 to 3 hours sometimes. Those are great, and if you can listen to them in one sitting, that's awesome. You don't have to, but it's great. Like I said, they're great gateway drugs to an audiobook, because while 4 hours is a lot of time, that's a very small audiobook. For instance, I think the first Game of Thrones book is like 36 hours, and you can download like the entire Sherlock Holmes collection, which is like, I don't even remember. It's ridiculously long. So, I mean, you can get medical books through Audible and listen to them, and whew, they get lengthy, man. Which leads to reason number 4: your learning style. I've always been a guy that takes really good notes during a lecture. I'm not really like a visual learner. I mean, depending on the subject, I think, but how I go through Audible is I might listen to a book one time and not take any notes and just listen to it and absorb the information, and then listen to it again the second time, maybe outside of the car, a lot slower, and take notes. I like that process, and I like that I get to do that. Whereas in a book, I'm a highlighting guy. I'm always highlighting throughout my books and making little notes or doing whatever I need to do, even if it's not school related. Like, I know I got to remember that. This is an important thing for the plot line, whatever. Call me crazy, but I'm a highlighting guy. Audible's version of that is a comment section. Well, not comment section. It's like a post-it section, or you can make a note at that exact minute and second marker at the book. And at the end of it, I mean, you should see I just have all these notes and notes and notes throughout the book. So I really use the audiobooks as a tool as opposed to just pure entertainment. And I think that should about wrap it up. I'm not trying to make this video too long, but if you are an artist, or if you're guitarist or bassist, drummer, whatever you are, we're gigging a lot. I understand the busy lifestyle, and I would really recommend Audible. Let me know if you guys enjoy audiobooks, or have heard about audiobooks or anything like that in the comment section. I will be doing more videos like this geared towards musicians, whether it be the 5 apps that I think are best on the App Store for musicians to have, or what have you. A lot more content is coming out soon, and if you'd like to see that, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Once again, cheers from LA, and I hope you guys have a good day.